to She Shed Shit Talk, the podcast where we pour the wine and talk our shit. I'm Danny, and today we're going to try some ASMR. I've been told I have a really nice podcast voice, so I'm like, okay, let's give it a shot. Let's tap on some shit. I'm totally kidding. Welcome back, bitches. We are diving into the debate that's blowing up relationships everywhere. If your partner subscribes to explicit content like OnlyFans, is that cheating or just modern life? I know I mentioned in last week's episode that we were going to discuss friendships that have faded away, but this is way juicier. So grab your tea because we're about to spill it. But before we get into that, how was your weekend? I want to know, how's the beginning of your work week going? Were you looking forward to my podcast this week? Or, you have any exciting plans coming up? I just want to know. How's life? How's everything? But back to the topic for tonight's episode. Let's keep it real. For a lot of people, it feels like betrayal. You're not just scrolling a free feed, you're literally pulling out your wallet, subscribing to someone else's naked body, and that feels like crossing a line. It's money, it's intention, and honestly, it's intimacy, even if it's digital. Some argue it's no different than going to a strip club every night or having a secret online crush. It's not about the pixels, it's about the energy you're giving someone who isn't your partner. On the flip side, some people are like, it's just content, it's no different than porn. And let's be honest, almost everyone has watched porn at some point. The difference, subscriptions can feel personal. But some couples are completely fine with it, even supportive. For them, it's like, I'd rather you pay for OnlyFans than DM random girls. So the question becomes, is this about the act itself or the boundaries that you and your partner have set? So here's my take on it. It depends on the relationship agreement. If we've never talked about it and I find out that you're subscribing in secret, that's cheating to me because secrecy is betrayal. And I feel like most people watch porn, whether you're a male, female, or however you identify. It happens, especially if you aren't having sex often or your partner isn't in the mood or you're just home alone. But that's watching free porn on certain websites. If you cross that line from going to watching it for free versus subscribing to a specific person and paying to have them send personalized videos and messages, that's where I consider it cheating. I guess you could say that I have kind of dealt with this personally with my last relationship. I wouldn't say that I saw him on OnlyFans or like subscribing to OnlyFans, but there was a trend on TikTok, of course, that showed like, how to catch your man cheating, or to see if he has an OnlyFans. You go to the OnlyFans website, you type in their email, and if it shows up when you make the profile that the email is already in use, that, that means that they already have a subscription, or, they already have a login or whatever. So I did that, and I know he's definitely listening to this, so now you know. I kind of guessed one of his passwords and got in, and I was like, oh, okay. I didn't see any, conversations with another woman. I didn't see any personalized videos or anything to him, but I do know that he made a profile, or, he made an account. So I'm like, what were your intentions on that? Like, I don't understand. Why would you do that? And then when I confronted him about it, he said, I don't know what you're talking about. Someone used my email and made a profile for me. So, I think that that I wouldn't consider cheating. But I would say, you are lying to your partner. And, if you're called out on something, you should have an explanation for it. I'm sorry, but that's just my opinion on it. So here's a story about a couple. My husband doesn't think it's cheating. We got on the subject because a girl we went to school with does OnlyFans as her career. My husband, out of curiosity, Googled her, and her naked photos came up. I just put it out there that I'm aware he looks at porn, but OnlyFans or porn from anyone that we know, I would consider cheating. He laughed and he said he doesn't consider looking at women on OnlyFans cheating. He said he doesn't go on it, but it's not cheating. I said, well, I think it is, and he disagreed. I said it doesn't matter, that if I think it's cheating and he would choose to view women on there in the future, I would consider that he cheated. He disagreed and said I was being silly. Would other couples consider it cheating? He asked how it was different to porn. I said I consider it different because it's a person you can subscribe to and see the same person's content regularly and pay for content and conversations. He said as long as the person isn't talking to them or having sex in real life, it's not cheating. I think since there's free porn out there, you shouldn't really need to look at someone and, you know, subscribe to their content, um, whether you have like an attraction to them or a fetish specifically for the individual in particular. You should do that only with your partner. He works away, so I understand the need to have visuals like porn. So, from this story that I told you, would you guys consider that cheating or not cheating? Again, in my personal opinion, I consider it cheating. Everyone watches porn. They do. I mean, it's normal. Sometimes, you just gotta watch something to get in the mood or whatever. Like I said before, whether your partner's not home or you're just, really feeling spicy and need visuals, sure. Um, but having to pay for it, that's where I think it crosses the line a little bit. But for those guys who do subscribe to OnlyFans, what I want to know is why isn't your partner enough for you? Why do you feel the need to have to pay for this type of content? And are you just not sexually attracted to your partner anymore? Because if that's the case, then I think you and your partner need to have that type of conversation and try and figure out if there's anything you guys can do to either spice up your sex life or, you know, figure out why you're feeling this way. And if you men out there think that it's okay for your partner to feel this way and feel that, you know, you watching OnlyFans or you subscribing to someone on OnlyFans is cheating and you're just like, oh, whatever, I don't really care. Why can't you see that you have a beautiful, badass bitch in front of you? Like, I hate to say it, but you don't deserve her. And she deserves better than a scrub like you. Yeah, I said what I said. At the end of the day, it comes down to communication. Talk to your partner, ask them where the line is. For some, it's a deal breaker. For others, it's no big deal. But the danger comes when we assume that our partner thinks the same as we do, and they don't. Now, not only talking about OnlyFans, but, and you know what? If any of you ladies out there create OnlyFans content, get that bag, sis, because honestly, y'all be making more money than I do, and I bust my ass at work. And really, if I had the body, I would definitely consider it. But yeah, not only OnlyFans, but I think if your partner also follows these like Instagram models that post very somewhat explicit content on their Instagram, I also consider that cheating. Or maybe not cheating, but I consider it wrong. Like, I get it if it's maybe a famous person or not famous, but it's just, why can't you enjoy what you have in front of you? Is that not enough? Like, I really don't understand. I don't understand why some of these men keep looking for more and more and more when they have a good woman at home. A woman who cooks, a woman who cleans, a woman who, honestly, she's probably giving you better than anyone else would, especially if you married her. Like, you should respect your wife. Just saying. Um, yeah, I really think that watching porn is a normal thing. But having to pay for it, that's where it crosses the line for me. I don't know. I guess it's different for every couple, but that's just my perspective on it. Yeah, so let me know what you think. Um, I would love to know. So, is subscribing to explicit content cheating? You tell me. Drop your thoughts, horror stories, and hot takes in the comments or DMs, and I want to know where you stand. Don't forget to follow and rate the podcast. Until next time, keep your boundaries strong, your confidence stronger, and always talk your shit. Thanks for coming to my shed talk this week. And I know it was a little short, but I don't know. There's only so much I could talk about on this topic. But for next week we're going to have a very fun episode about, you know, getting over a breakup, or not so much getting over the breakup because I already said that, but more of finding yourself again and really what made it easy to get over somebody. Because, after being with someone for so long, you do kind of lose yourself. But we're going to save this for next week's episode. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. Again, I apologize for it being short, but yeah, I hope you guys have a great night and a great weekend, and I hope you party it up. And if not, relax on the couch with a nice glass of wine because I know that's what I'll be doing. And if you have any recommendations for a good bottle of wine to try, let your girl know, or any type of drink, because yeah, I don't know. We're getting into the fall now, sort of, which I'm so ready for spooky season. And yeah, I want to know, like, what's your favorite drink? Let me know. I want to try new things. And yeah, so until next week, bye.